So if you want to get great at lead guitar and unlock the holy grail of being able to jump back and forth between rhythm and lead, it actually counterintuitively starts with the rhythm first. So for a minute, you can kind of forget about modes and scales and exercises and all that kind of thing. The real gateway for playing lead is actually mastering the groove, because those lead lines and those solos actually live inside that rhythm. So today, we're going to talk about how to take that basic rhythm and then play it
like this.
So let's take a look at the rhythm first, and then I'm going to show you how to get into the lead licks from that. So when you hear a Muddy Waters record, right, you hear that infectious rolling groove. It just casts such a spell on you. It's really about those little inconsistencies and those nuances. So the first step is to become a master of that basic rhythm, right? So whether you're playing blues or jazz or funk or anything, each one of those genres has fundamental grooves associated with it. You can learn all your jazz chords, but if you can't get that swing, it's not going to sound authentic. So that really comes from immersing yourself in the music. So for me, that's rock and roll. That's that basic boogie woogie. So mastering that feel isn't about just kind of holding down that basic beat. It's about the push and pull and add those nuances to it. So for rock and roll, you've got that basic beat, right, which is just going back and forth. And that shuffle beat there is based on a triplet. So the idea there is you've actually got 3 notes to each beat, but the first 2 are tied together. So you've got 1 and 2 and so that's the essence of a shuffle, but there's lots of things that you can do with that. So the first thing is, are you going to have long ringing notes? Or are you going to have more short staccato notes like this? Which is more what Stevie's doing. And one of the ways you can achieve those is through the process of muting. There's a few different ways to do that. Like you'll see Stevie's actually using this left hand when he's playing like that. But you can also do a little bit of muting here with the right hand. You kind of choke it to various degrees to really muted, to just slightly muted. But here's one of the secrets is to mute that middle note of the triplet. You can actually just drop your pick in between. So you get this effect. 1 and so when you bounce your hand like that, it naturally mutes that middle note, which it gives that kind of a cool energy and tightens it up. Then you can add in some of the augmentations. So the first one is just to do the basic flat 7. Once you've got that down, then you can place the accent in different places. By placing the accent on the downbeat, it sounds like this. Or placing it on the upbeat would be... And then you can accent individual notes within that. Like, for example, going... So the way you do that is just with an upstroke to accent. And what I'm doing is I'm laying my first finger down across the 4th string as well to bring in that octave. So there's a myriad of different specific licks that you can create just by where you place the accent. Then the next thing is you can start to actually change the notes. Like the first one would be the rolling boogie, which you can hear Stevie Ray Vaughan play. So there's lots of variations of that, but basically it's where you're walking up. Or there's the extended one. Okay, so then another one that you can do is like the Delta Blues style pull off, like kind of like a Johnny Lee Hooker. So all you're doing there is on beat 4, and a lot of these licks start on beat 4. You're doing a pull off from the 3rd fret to the open string. So you're going. And then the last note there is you're jumping up to the octave right here. So you're just still laying your finger flat there, but you're pinging the 4th string. So you're getting this 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's also like the lick that, Jimi Hendrix, used for Voodoo Child. Another one similar to that is the Muddy Water style quick 4, where you go to the A chord on beat 4 like this. All you're doing there is you're just flattening this finger, lifting it off on beat 4. Okay, so once you've got that, you've got all these different things that you can add into the basic beat. You've got the flat 7, you've got the delta pull-off, you've got the quick 4, all these little things where you can start to kind of play with that basic rhythm. The lead parts are going to be expansions out of that. So for example, if we take this quick 4, if you just put a little lick in straight before that on beat 3, like say, for example, going from a slide, that's a big part of the blues there, is that idea of the flat 5 or the blue note sliding into that. You can also bend into it, like the Voodoo Child, but it's that sound, it's the blue note. If you go 1, 2, and then on beat 3, you do a slide, and then you go to the quick 4, all of a sudden it starts to be a lick. 1, 2, slide, 4 chord, off. So it sounds like this. So you can see now you're starting to build this augmentation, which is lead guitar playing, but it's embedded within that rhythm. That rhythm is keeping going. So let's add another note in on beat 2. We'll start like Stevie did a lot of times to get into these licks. It helps to start with an upstroke. So you're going to start on the downbeat, so on beat 1, and then do an upstroke, and just walk down the scale. Do the little blue note slide, and then the 4 change. So just basically walking down the scale. That's a whole bar of lead, right? So let's put that all together now. So we'll do one whole bar of rhythm, and then we'll play bar of lead. So you hit the downbeat, then you're gonna snap that upbeat, walk down the scale, blues slide, quick 4, and then back in again. So right there, you've got a bar of rhythm, bar of lead. And then once you've got that, you can start to expand that idea into all kinds of different ways. So if you look at Stevie playing here, so look at this little lick he does. It's just like that, basically. But the place he's actually doing it is on the turnaround. So that's a great lick to learn there. It's the same kind of idea. You're going to start with the downbeat. He's tuned down a half step, but basically what he's doing is he's hitting the E chord, and then he's snapping that first string again, and then doing a pull off on the second string, and then he's doing this killer blues slide here, where he slides up, and then he's hitting the open strings there, and it gives it that kind of resonance. And then he does that slide, but he kind of like does this kind of tasty little slick slide like that, where he's kind of emphasizing that note, sliding into it. And then he does the major third hammer, which is a killer kind of accent to kind of pull it towards that kind of cool major sound. So you're just walking down the scale. So again, that's the same thing. It's one bar of lead. I'll play it slow. So those kind of licks are killer to get into because it's very connected to the triplet shuffle rhythm. Once you can do that, you can expand it and you can go up and down. You kind of move back and forth between the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic. So Hideaway is a great way to kind of get that kind of basic idea. Alright, so I hope you have fun with that, and let me know if you want me to do part 3, leave a comment, and we can get into the Clapton stuff that he gets into, and then maybe look at some other styles of lead guitar playing like BB King and Albert King, and how you can kind of like weave all this stuff together. I'd love to hear from you. And, if you enjoyed this video, give us a subscribe. That really helps a lot. Drop a comment. And the main thing is have fun with the blues. And remember, turn it up.